Welcome back, everybody. We've got another custom conversation here today. So I'm with Charity, and we're just going to talk a little bit about what your experience has been here with the Custom Fat Loss team and using the Custom Fat Loss program. So thank you for taking time to be with me today.
You're welcome. So
this is where I actually want to start. Before we talk through the details of what it's been like being on the Custom Fat Loss program and working with the team here, we've got to go backwards a little bit. So talk to me a little bit about where you were before. What did you try? What was life like before you came into our office?
Before I started this program, I had had 2 major surgeries, so I was not able to do a lot of the physical activity and exercise that I was used to doing. And while waiting for surgeries and after surgeries to heal, I put on a considerable amount of weight. I tried keto, I tried cleanses, the weight would come off temporarily and come right back on. I was in the gym 4 to 6 days a week on top of that, healthy eating, and nothing seemed to work. I would lose a few pounds, but it would never be enough. It was never where I wanted to be.
Yeah, that sounds very frustrating.
It was.
When you're doing that kind of work, you're in the gym that frequently, you're committing to that kind of lifestyle nutritionally, I think that a lot of us would expect. If we're willing to do that, the results should be there. But that wasn't happening for you.
No, it wasn't.
So do you have any sense of why the results weren't there, even though you were committing that much time, energy, intention?
I think because my body became so resistant to losing the weight, I think through learning I had leptin resistance was the biggest factor, and I didn't know how to deal with that on my own in order to actually make the right changes in order to start losing weight.
Yeah. Well, and some of the things that you talk about specifically when you're saying the gym, again, that's a major focus for a lot of us. When we think I need to lose weight, it's, well, let me work harder, let me increase, the work and decrease my calories. It's calories in, calories out. We're going to get there. But especially today, when you're talking about something that you've tried, keto, I mean, that's a big deal. A lot of people have gone in that direction, and some have gotten results, but I think a lot of people have been in that same place where you are, where you had been, where you've done something like that, and still we're not getting there.
Yeah, the gym helped put muscle back on, and I would lose some fat, but I was not losing anything what I needed to actually feel healthy and to feel good about myself.
Yeah, and that's definitely the right kind of goal to have, is let's move that health along, and knowing that the weight will follow that, because it's so easy to go the other way and just try to blast that weight off and sacrifice your health sometimes. So let's fast forward. You came to a point where obviously you said, all right, I'm going to come into the Custom Fat Loss office. Talk about that a little bit. What led you here?
I was voicing my concerns to my husband, how I was frustrated with everything that I had tried, and he had mentioned that people that he works with have tried this weight loss program, and I was extremely skeptical and said, okay, this is my last chance to, I've got nothing to lose, so let me try it. So I called and made an appointment.
And I like hearing when you say, I was really skeptical. It might sound surprising, but it's one of my favorite things for people to have that sentiment coming in, because I think it really forces, the right kind of questions to be asked. You come in with that mindset of, I don't know, I've heard some things, I've heard some good things, but is this really going to work for me like I've heard it work for other people? So you came into the office, you got started, obviously. What allowed you to overcome that skepticism? What was it?
I had a list of questions for you, and you had all the right answers.
Well, that was fortunate.
But I thought that you had a handle on leptin resistance, which I had learned about, and not a lot of people know about it, but it was brought to my attention, and I did research, and you were the only person that actually was able to discuss that with me knowledgeably.
Well, I'm glad that we had that opportunity to have a discussion. And just to make it really simple, for anyone listening and you hear leptin resistance and go, leptin who, what? Really to put it simply, we're talking about a significant hormone imbalance, which when you're talking about weight problems, everyone may not have leptin resistance, but when it comes to, needing to lose weight, a metabolism that's not in balance, we're generally speaking talking about some form or fashion of likely hormone imbalance. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it can't be missed, because otherwise, you can work hard just like you did. You can put the right nutrition in your body like you did, and just in that same way, see some temporary results, but it just doesn't stick. So
No, it didn't.
yeah. So let's talk details. If you're comfortable, you got started in the program. Let's talk about timeline. When did you begin? What did you accomplish, and where are we today?
I started the end of last summer, like August, and I just finished my third cycle.
Yeah.
I lost 20 pounds the first cycle. I was off for about a month before I started the second cycle, and I was able to maintain and actually did not put any weight on at all.
That's a big deal.
Started the second round, lost 10 more, and even through the holidays, I was able to stay pretty consistent. I put a few pounds on, but was able to bring it back down. And I just finished, tomorrow is day 40 of my third cycle, and I've lost 12 pounds this time.
Yeah. So, I mean, a grand total,
So-
we're talking about nearly 50 pounds.
Correct.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. And, talk about what that feels like compared to, you've lost weight before, so
Right.
how is this different?
I'm able to keep it off this time because of the tools that I learned from my coach. Huge shout out to Alyssa because she's amazing.
Yeah.
And being able to have the knowledge of rotating proteins and doing all the things that I learned, I've been able to keep it off and stay consistent, so that when I'm not actually on the program, I'm actually maintaining this weight and I'm not putting weight back on. And I can afford to go out and have something that's not necessarily the best thing for you, but as long as I keep that at a minimum, and I still continue to eat the vegetables and everything else, which I love. So that's a huge plus for me. But I maintain the weight, and I'm happy, and I'm still active. But when I do all the things that I do now, I don't hurt as bad, because of the extra weight. I don't feel it. I feel much more energy than I did before, and I always stayed busy before, but now it's like I could still keep going. I feel like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, that's good. And, we don't usually put that together with, well, I'm further along in years than I was before, and I've got more energy, and I hurt less, and I feel better in general. That's
Yeah.
what we want to hear.
It feels great. It feels great to have the weight off.
Yeah.
I'm literally probably maybe within 10 pounds, or less, than I was in high school.
Wow.
And I'm not going to say how long ago that was.
Well, then I won't ask. So, it sounds to me like you really feel like you have set a new foundation here for yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's a very different experience than just doing a diet, going through an exercise program. I mean, again, just losing the weight versus doing something like I hear you saying, which is really establishing, again, a new, I guess there's no other way to say it, just a new foundation, puts you in a different place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, if you were talking to someone, so remember when you first were considering coming in here, and you had kind of that feedback, secondary feedback, hey, this program could work, but maybe this, maybe that. What would you say to someone who is considering the program for themselves?
I would tell them that literally I have tried everything. I had tried everything. Nothing seemed to work. I had to have that extra something, which I found here, to be able to actually kickstart my body into losing the weight properly and being able to lose the weight in the right way, so that I can keep it off once I finally am done with the program and I go into maintenance. I am actually able to maintain rather than fluctuate up and down and put it back on. And now I have the tools, and so that I know that if my body reacts to a certain food, I need to pay attention to that. And now I've learned that. Yeah. And then I learned which foods I need to avoid for my body and which ones I can have.
Oh, that's well said. Well, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk through, your experiences, and it
You're
certainly
welcome.
sounds like you've made some incredible changes.
I have, and thank you so much yourself.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, guys, well, thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of the Custom family. So until we talk again, be well, everybody.